Hopefully the air conditioner is not going to make too much noise on this video because the vent is blowing directly behind the camera, so I don't know what you guys can hear. But the air conditioner is a necessity right now because I live in Alabama and spring has finally sprung and the cold weather is over and we are back to our usual muggy temperatures. It's probably about 80 degrees right now. Actually, it's probably more like 75, but it's really humid because it's been raining all afternoon. Anyway, hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm actually doing a third video. This is 3 days in a row, and I've tried to get started doing videos before, and I haven't been consistent with it. 3 days in a row is pretty good. I guess it's kind of easy to just sit and talk to a camera for a few minutes and about stuff that I like to talk about anyway. So just want to do a quick review of Us. I'm not going to go into any real detail because you really can't talk about this movie without giving something away. Excuse me, I'm looking around because I just got off work and I want to do this video real quick before I head home. So I just pulled to a vacant corner of the parking lot, and I'm just making sure nobody's walking up behind me, seeing me talking to myself. But okay, so Us is the second movie that Jordan Peele made. If you don't know who Jordan Peele is, I know him mostly from comedy. He was on there was a sketch TV show called Key and Peele. He came from, I think he was on Mad TV. I know because I know Key was on Mad TV, and I think Jordan Peele was on there with him. Mad TV was something that I watched in the early days, and I stopped watching it later on. But Key and Peele was a really funny show, and they were innovative. They like to do what's the word? Cinematographic? They like to do fancy movie stuff on their show. They like to do the great camera angles and cinematic quality skits. And they were funny. And they were very creative. Jordan Peele is a good writer. And then they announced that he was going to make a movie. Like not be in the movie, he was going to make a movie. He'd be the writer and director of a movie, and I automatically thought it's going to be a comedy, which he did make. He did make a movie called Keanu, which was this parody of John Wick, starring Key and Peele, and it was about a cat named Keanu. And it was hilarious. But his first venture into directing, he decided to do a horror movie, and it was called Get Out, and it was great. And he did a lot of stuff in it where he kind of he used symbolism a lot to talk about social issues symbolically in a horror movie format. The movie itself was pretty formulaic. I mean, there was a lot of tropes used in it that you've seen before in other horror movies. So it was a safe bet for him because it was successful. So the studio said, oh, well, we want Jordan Peele to come back and do another movie. So the second time around, he pretty much gets to do whatever he wants. And what he made was Us. And this is a movie, the plot is that there is a family, they go on vacation, and there is another family that looks exactly like them that's trying to kill them. That's the plot. There's a whole lot more to it than that. It's very symbolic. Has a lot to do with there's a lot to do with race. There's a lot to do with the climate of America that we're in right now. You can read a million things into this movie. I read a million things into it just watching it one time, and I'm definitely going to go back and watch it again. The middle of the movie is pretty much a standard formulaic home invasion type horror movie, and it's very entertaining. It's very good, but the beginning and especially the last 20 minutes, you really have to be paying attention because there's a lot going on in that movie. And if you're not paying attention, then when you get to the end and you get to what we quote unquote call the twist, it's not really a twist, but there's a twist there if you read a twist into it, because what I love about this movie is that it's open to interpretation. You pretty much can say for yourself what you think the movie was about and what happened in the movie. It was great. I liked it. I'm not doing a podcast, so I haven't done a ton of research about who all the actors were. I know Lupita Nyong'o is the main character. She plays the hero and the villain. I say hero, I mean just main character. And the bad person, the bad guy. I always call him a bad guy, whether it's a girl or a guy. But she does both of those, and she does very well. And when she's playing the copy, the counterpart to the main character, she uses this voice that just crawls up your spine and crawls in your ear and out the other and will send shivers to your toes. It's awesome. So I really recommend Us. If you like horror movies, you're gonna like it. If you don't like horror movies, I mean, you're probably not gonna like it, but there is a lot there to unpack. There is a lot there to think about and digest and figure out what you think Jordan Peele is really trying to say with this movie. And he's trying to say a lot of things, I think. I'm eventually going to do a podcast about it, probably focus on it, because there's a lot to talk about, but I'm going to wait a few weeks because I want to give people a chance to see it, because when I do a podcast about it, I want to do a spoiler-filled podcast, and so I want to wait until I know a lot of people have seen it so that more people will tune in and listen. And I want to have people on. I'm going to wait until John has seen it. And Boz, I'm looking at you. I want you to come on and talk about it too, because I haven't got to hear you talk about horror a whole lot lately. So, okay. So that was my review of Us. Jordan Peele is also doing a reboot of The Twilight Zone. I'll probably talk about that sometime this week. And as far as on the network, today is Monday, so that means tonight we are recording episode 12 of the second season of Discovery After Show. We're going to be talking about the episode of Discovery that came on this past Thursday. So that episode will come out tomorrow night. So check for that on CosmicPotato.com. And also tomorrow will be a new episode of Trial by Pilot. If you haven't listened to Trial by Pilot, go and check that out. They judge an entire season of television based solely on the pilot episode. That's it. They watch the first episode of a show, and then they tell you what they think about the whole show based on that. So, and it's fun to listen to. I like it. Other than that, everything's gonna come out eventually this week, but those are the two that will be coming out tomorrow. So go and check those out, and make sure you subscribe to the network feed so that you'll get new episodes of everything that comes out on the network and right when they drop. Okay? And that's all I've got to say. I'm going to leave and go home and take a nap and get ready for recording Discovery After Show tonight. So talk to you later. Bye.